The epic history of the Ottoman Empire, from rise to fall. Welcome back to History Knowledgia, where we dive deep into the stories that shaped our world. Today, we're exploring one of the most powerful and enduring empires in history, the Ottoman Empire. Spanning over 600 years, from a tiny Anatolian principality to a vast realm across 3 continents, this empire blended conquest, culture, and controversy. We'll cover its founding, golden age, and eventual decline in this comprehensive overview. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell for more history content. Let's go back in time. Forgive me if I am going to butcher some of these names, but I am an American and not from the Middle East. So here it goes. Our story begins in 1299 with the founding and early expansion under Osman I and his successors, up to 1362. Osman I, a Muslim leader from Suud in Anatolia, styled himself as Sultan after raiding Byzantine lands. The empire's name comes from him, Osman, or Ottoman. With the Seljuk dynasty crumbling, Osman exploited the chaos, expanding bidirectionally toward the Sea of Marmara and Sakarya River. But sieging big cities like Constantinople was tough without proper equipment. Osman passed in 1326, just after capturing Bursa, which became the new capital in 1335. His son, Orhan, took over and revolutionized the military. He created a paid, trained infantry and, with advice, introduced the Janissaries, elite troops from converted Christian children, loyal slaves to the Sultan. No marriage allowed, pure devotion. Orhan captured Iznik, Izmit, Uskudar, and the Karasi Principality. He allied with Byzantine Emperor John VI, Kantakouzenos, raiding Thrace, and marrying his daughter Theodora. In 1354, his son Suleiman Pasha seized Gallipoli, a foothold in Europe that drew thousands of Turks to join. Orhan died in 1362, around 80, leaving a strengthened empire. Next, the rise under Murad I and Bayezid I, from 1362 to 1402. Murad I pressured Bulgaria into vassalage, then seized Sofia, Plovdiv, and Niš. The pivotal Battle of Kosovo in 1389 crushed Serbia. Both leaders died, but Ottomans had many reserves, claiming victory and Serbian lands. Murad was assassinated, and his son Bayezid I ascended to the throne. Bayezid stopped Anatolian threats like Karaman, annexed Bulgaria, and besieged Constantinople. A Christian crusade from the Hungarians, Germans, and French met him at Nicopolis in 1396. Then, Bayezid massacred them all with his men, boosting his power. He then annexed Karaman, despite a peace treaty. But tensions with Timur, the Turco-Mongol warlord, exploded at Ankara in 1402. Timur's forces starved Bayezid's army, captured him and his 2 sons. Bayezid died in custody, sparking chaos all around the lands. This led to the Ottoman interregnum and recovery, 1402 to 1421. Now we will go into a period of rapid changes. So stay focused. Bayezid's sons fought a decade-long civil war. Timur backed Mehmed Çelebi, but Suleiman, Isa, and Musa contested. Capital shifted. Suleiman in Edirne, Mehmed in Amasya. Battles over Bursa. Alliances flipped, and Musa allied with Mehmed, defeated Suleiman at Edirne in 1411, then turned on Mehmed, but lost at Çamurlu in 1413. Musa was the executed, creating even more change and chaos. Mehmed I unified the empire, crushed rebellions like Sheikh Bedreddin's, and consolidated Anatolia and Europe. He dealt with his brother Mustafa's challenge. Mehmed died in 1421, passing to his son Murad II. Murad II's reign between 1421 to 1451 was a prelude to greater conquests. He punished Byzantines for backing Mustafa by sieging Constantinople, but withdrew for a family revolt. He reasserted control over Anatolian vassals and expanded in Europe, clashing with powers like Venice, Serbia, and Hungary. In 1444, he abdicated and gave up his throne to the young Mehmed II, but returned to smash a crusade at Varna, where Vlad Dracul's betrayal loomed. Another abdication, then a Janissary revolt, pulled him back to his lands. At Kosovo in 1448, he routed John Hunyadi's forces again. Then, Murad subdued Shah Rukh's regions, but failed against Skanderbeg in Albania. He died in 1451, and Mehmed II taking over permanently from Murad II. Enter Mehmed II, the Conqueror, between 1451 to 1481. Aged 21, he eyed Constantinople. Signing peaces with Hungary and Venice, he built a navy and cannons. In 1453, 80,000 plus troops and 100 ships besieged it for 50 days. Victory. Renamed Istanbul, also now the new capital. Mehmed claimed Roman Caesar title, absorbed Byzantine remnants, then pushed into Europe. He centralized bureaucracy, appointing loyalists. His feud with Vlad III, known as Dracula, or as Vlad Dracu, childhood hostage turned foe, showed respect. Mehmed withdrew, praising Vlad's marvels. Tolerance marked his rule. He died in 1481, his son Bayezid II succeeding. Peak expansion happened under Bayezid II, Selim I, and Suleiman I, from 1481 to 1566. Bayezid II secured his throne against brother Cem, emphasized domestic order, and also conquered Venetian and Balkan lands. Notably, in 1492, he welcomed expelled Spanish Jews and Muslims, boosting skills and economy to the lands. Also earned himself the name the Just. Selim I reigned between 1512 to 1520. He executed rivals, crushed Safavid revolt at Chaldiran in 1514 with guns versus cavalry. He seized Tabriz, then toppled Mamluks at Marjdabik in 1516, and toppled Ridania in 1517, adding Egypt to the list, then Levant and Hejaz, with a 70% expansion. He was successful in a short amount of time. More impressive was Suleiman the Magnificent, because between 1520 and 1566, he reformed laws and tolerated religions. He conquered Belgrade in 1521, then Rhodes in 1522, crushed Hungary at Mohacs in 1526, killing King Louis II. He backed John Zapolya against Habsburgs, sieged Vienna twice in 1529 and 1532, but failed. After that, Hungary split into three. Persian campaigns gained Iraq navy under Barbarossa, dominated the Mediterranean. He expanded the empire to North Africa, allied the Mughals. However, he died at Sigetvar siege in 1566. Then stagnation and conflicts came between 1566 and 1699, when Selim II captured Cyprus in 1570 but lost at Lepanto in 1571. Murad III seized Fez, relaunched Persian and Austrian wars. However, inflation and Janissary decline made them allied England against Catholics. Mehmed III defeated Habsburgs at Kerestes in 1596. Ahmed first spared his brother Mustafa, ending fratricide tradition. Wars with Safavids lost gains. Mustafa I's unstable rule. Osman II, assassinated by Janissaries in 1622. The first. Murad IV's brutal restoration recaptured Baghdad, 1638. Banned vices, but died an alcoholic in 1640. Ibrahim I sparked Venetian War and was assassinated in 1648. Mehmed IV expanded in Europe but lost Vienna in 1683, starting the Great Turkish War. Suleiman II got deposed and taken of his throne in 1687. Ahmed II briefly ruled. Mustafa II signed Karlowitz, 1699. losing the Balkans heavily. The tumultuous 17th century came and brought political turmoil, internal crises, and lost wars. Focus shifted more to border protection. And this section has many dates, so bear with me. 18th century defensive struggles then became the topic. Mustafa II's Edirne event in 1703 deposed him of his throne. Ahmed III allied Sweden and also beat Russia at Pruth in 1711. However, he lost to Austria at Passarowitz in 1718. The Patrona Halil revolt deposed him in 1730. Mahmud I ended rebellions, also fought Persia inconclusively, Russo-Austrian wars, regained Belgrade in 1739. Mustafa III reformed internally, lost Russo-Turkish War, 1768 to 1774, ceding to Crimea influences. Abdul Hamid, the first modernized military, lost another Russian war and was in power from 1787 to 1792. Selim III reformed taxes, opened embassies in many regions, as then the Napoleon's Egypt invasion in 1798 allied Ottomans with Britain, Russia. The 19th century marked the Ottoman Empire's decline. Selim III's reforms led to his deposition in 1807. Mustafa IV's brief reign ended in a coup. Mahmud II came in power on 1808 and ended a Russian war in 1812, sacked the Janissaries in 1826, but lost Greece in 1830, and started Tanzimat reforms. Abdul Majid I continued reforms, won the Crimean War between 1853 to 1856, and issued an equality edict in 1856. Abdulaziz modernized, but lost the Russo-Turkish War from 1877 to 1878, ceding Balkans at Berlin. Abdul Hamid II came in power in 1876, and his constitution was suspended. Then he lost Tunisia, Egypt, but won against Greece in 1897. The Young Turk Revolution in 1908 restored the constitution, deposing Abdul Hamid in 1909. Balkan Wars from 1912 to 1913 stripped European lands. In World War I, they allied with Germany, and Ottomans won Gallipoli but lost overall. By the 1918 armistice of Mudros and 1920 Sèvres Treaty partitioned the empire. At last, Mustafa Kemal Atatürk's War of Independence in 1919 to 1923 and abolished the Sultanate in 1922 and founding Turkey in 1923. The Ottoman Empire rose from ashes, peaked in glory, and fell to nationalism and war. A legacy of innovation, tolerance, and conquest. What do you think was its greatest achievement? Comment below, like, share, and subscribe for more. Thanks for watching. See you next time.